This meditation is called a body scan. So in this meditation we'll be taking our attention right the way through the body. So this is an opportunity to take our focus inwards rather than outwards. So we'll begin by paying attention to our posture. So we're sitting upright, but not too erect, but not slouching either, or lying down. And we'll start by taking attention to the top of our head, to the crown, and we'll sweep down the front of the body, and then we'll come up the back of the body. So beginning at the crown, top of the skull, noticing the skin and the hair, and we're going to bring attention down the skull to the front of the forehead, noticing whether there's any tension there on the forehead, noticing whether there's any creasing. It's often somewhere where we do hold tension, particularly if our brow feels tight. So if so, we can just make a conscious effort to loosen the muscles in the brow. Now we're going to bring attention down to the eyebrows, the eyelids. We have the top eyelids and the bottom eyelids. And behind the eyelids are the eye sockets, and the eyes floating around behind them. So the eyes moving left to right, up and down. Now we can bring attention down the sides of our nostrils, and also be aware of our cheeks, whether there's any hold in there, any tension. Moving down to the top lip, so we can feel the air moving over our top lip as we breathe in and as we breathe out. And the bottom lip, and the teeth, and inside the mouth is the tongue. And when we feel tense, we tend to push the tongue against the roof of the mouth. And if that's the case, we can just gently lay the tongue in the bottom of the mouth, paying attention to the top set of teeth and the bottom set of teeth. And if we're still, we can feel a slight vibration, like a slight humming in the teeth, slight tingling. And we've got the mouth, and the back of the mouth, and down into the throat. Now we're going to take attention outwards, and we're going to take attention down to the point of the chin, and then up the jawline to the ears. Being aware of the ears, where we hear. The earlobes. Now we can sweep down the front of the neck, down to the base of the neck, into the shoulders, collarbones, into the sockets, the arm sockets, shoulder sockets. Now we're going to take attention down the arms. So we're going to visualize going through the inside of the arms, so down through the bones, the muscles, the blood vessels, the ligaments. Just gently sweeping down through the upper arms, down into the elbows, the elbow joints, into the lower arm, the forearms, gently sweeping down through the inside of the arms, into the wrists, into the hands, all the tiny bones that make up the hands, tendons, the ligaments, gently sweeping through the hands to the tips of the fingers. Just holding the focus there, the tips of the fingers. See if you can be aware of the blood flowing around. Now we're going to bring attention up the outside of the hand, starting at the tips of the fingers and the thumbs. We're going to gently sweep up over the tops of the hands, the palms, to the wrists, the forearms, gently sweeping up to the elbows. Now the upper arms, the biceps, back to the shoulders. Just gently holding there, breathing in and breathing out. So not forcing anything, we're just paying attention, just bringing witness to our bodies. So now we're going to bring attention down the front of the upper half of the body, on the out-breath, the rise and fall of the chest area as we breathe in and as we breathe out. So the lungs protected by the ribs. We're gently going to move down the rib cage to the sternum, the centre of the rib cage. And then behind the ribs as well is the heart, slightly to one side. So this is a place where we can generate well-being, where we can generate gratitude in the heart area. Now we're going to take attention a bit further still, further down into the upper abdomen, the lower abdomen. And the lower abdomen is somewhere where we often hold tension. So if we're holding attention there, I'm just taking note of that. I'm not trying to get rid of it. Just noticing. Now taking our attention down further still, so down into the groin area, the genitals, into the hips, so the hip joints. And now we're going to sweep down through the legs, so we're going to start at the hips, and imagine like we did with the arms, so we're kind of moving down through the inside. So we're visualizing the muscles and bones, the tendons and the ligaments and the blood vessels that make up the legs. Taking attention down to the tops of the legs, down into the knee joints, complex joints, down into the shins and the calves, into the ankles and the feet, so the heels, sweeping down through the feet into the toes and all the tiny bones that make up the feet, and taking attention to the tips of our toes, holding focus there for a while before we start to bring our attention back upwards. So we're going to sweep over the toes, over the tops of the feet, underneath the feet, to the heels, the ankles, sweeping up the outside, the calves, the shins, up to the knees, over the knees, under the knees, to the thighs, so gradually moving up the thighs, back to the hips. Okay, so now pay attention to the buttocks, supporting the upper half of the body. Take attention to the coccyx, and we're gradually going to move up through each vertebrae. So just imagine clicking those vertebrae into place one by one, starting the coccyx, so the lower lumbar region, all the muscles, the powerful muscles supporting the spine as we gradually move upwards, the middle of our spine, and the rib cage at the back, gradually moving up, to where the shoulder blades are, to the shoulders and the back of the neck. And again, just noticing if there's any tension there, any holding. So now we're at the base of the skull at the back. We're gently going to move attention up the back of the skull, back to the crown, the tip of the head, which is where we began. Take some time to focus on the whole of the body, the whole body scan, so from the top of the head to the tips of the fingers and the tips of the toes. So breathing, vibrating organism.